Hello and welcome to the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, and without further ado, let's get straight into the news. The nationwide NRM register and update and registration has been described as a success in Midwestern region. The Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honorable Robin Nabanja, has been overseeing several districts including Mubende, Kakumiro and Chibale, and says that most registers are filled up and more sent from the NRM Secretariat because of the huge turnout. Details in this report.
The Premier says that the public has taken the exercise very serious because the NRM government is delivering on its promises made to the public.
My observation is threefold. One, the turn-up of people in Kakumiro, Chibale and other districts is overwhelming. It shows the support the NRM has among the people in those parts of the countries where I've been. Today, we are ending the exercise and they have started reading people's names. As you can see here, they were reading names.
The success of the exercise is a clear testimony of the overwhelming support to the mighty NRM party.
Twabadde Chibale, twabadde Kakumiro, n'awalala abantu bajjumbidde nnyo eno okwewandiisa era tuli basanyufu nti exercise eno ewedde bulungi. Kati abantu saawa zino bali mu nkalala zaabwe nga bw'olabye wano babadde beekebera Nabanja nti oyo yasenguka nti gundi nti oyo yafa bamuggyemu nti gundi oyo tiki Nabanja oyo tiki. Kwegamba kiwedde bulungi katusuubire nti abantu baffe abagenda okuwandiika bajja kubanga bawandiise bulungi naddala aba computer.
The Minister of State for Transport and Buganga's West Legislator Fred Byamukama says that many people have registered, especially the youth, which gives the NRM party strength.
The President sent all the ministers that we go to our villages and monitor this exercise. In Kakumiro district, the turn-up has been so good. Even in some areas on the first day, people had already filled up the registers and we sent for more from Kampala. And when you look into these registers, the people are aged between 16 and 35 are very many compared to any other age group, and they have turned up in big numbers. So we appreciate that those people, a mere registering in our yellow book, they will give us high support come 2026 and even 2031. Now, also as I speak now they are reading names, different villages, to the people, confirming the people they have written the registers are the real people who come from that village. This exercise has helped us and has streamlined the elections which will come in the future on the NRM side to avoid havoc and all the chaos.
Byamukama thanked all NRM party members for sparing their time and actively participated in the exercise. Jennifer Kahigwa, the NRM Administrative Secretary for Kakumiro District, says that the turn-up is good.
Exercise kutwaliza hamu ebaire kurungi habo kuba tukalengaho kurubata Right Honorable Prime Minister tubaire nturubata nawe na jugumbya abantu nabaterera kugenda akebeza amabara gaabo n'okwehandikisa buhyaka aba batakozereki abatali mu register. Kandi abantu bayingi muno bayizire behandikisize na registers zijuire era twasobora nokusaba registers ezindi okuruga ha NRM Secretariat kandi bazituongera na habweke ninterera abo bona abaire bakyasigaire kuhandikibwa bagenda mu maiso n'okuhandikwa nikiro kya lero kya Sande bakusobora agenda bakakora bakabahandika.
Rizokire
The NRM Deputy Secretary General Rose Namayanja has announced that the party will not extend the ongoing party registration and Yellow Book update exercise, which has been running since Wednesday, 13th March 2024. According to Namayanja, the party will retrieve all Yellow Books across the country beginning Monday, 18th March 2024.
The National Resistance Movement Party Registration and Registers Update exercise has closed on Sunday 17th March 2024. In the areas of Kampala, the Deputy Secretary General NRM, Rose Namayanja, has been the overall overseer of the exercise, which kicked off on Wednesday 13th March 2024.
This exercise, these 5 days, we have seen many young people joining the NRM. I have found and we have seen, because we have been receiving calls across the country about insufficient space for members to be registered. And we told them to turn the pages. And I've seen it firsthand here, where members completed the book and they had to turn over the pages to register many young people.
Wrapping up the evaluation of the process from the areas of Naweru in Nansana Municipality, Wakiso District, it was brought to the attention of the party leadership that there have been some disruptions.
Kati registers of bwe zaali zikubibwa waliwo ezazze nga temulimu wadde member n'ogu n'omu nga nkalu ziri blanka.
But as we all know, this is the beginning of this exercise. Now, whatever has been compiled will be put into the computer and brought back to the people to make sure that they can see if there are any corrections. And around that area, I believe that's when those who have not got the opportunity can get the opportunity to be included in the register.
Key among them has been the absence of national IDs by many well-wishers.
I want to thank all our members, or those who have registered and those who have not updated their registers. I want to inform you all that you remain as members of the party, you remain as members of the NRM fraternity.
It is wrong, it is illegal for somebody to use a national ID to borrow money. And this is something that we are going to follow up, and the President guided that Ministry of Finance must come up with a mechanism to regulate the money lending sector, because a national ID is one that it's person to holder, and it is something that talks about an individual. You cannot use it as collateral. It is wrong. But that we have guided as far as this exercise is concerned, that if a member's ID is not available and he's a known member of the NRM, we must register them, and they have been registered.
And many are now calling for an extension of this exercise.
First and foremost, I want to inform the public that we are not extending the exercise. We are going to retrieve the books and carry out a review. But the good thing is that we still have sufficient time to take back our register when we have already digitized it. So we are not going to have an extension. We are closing today.
But Honorable, this is document that many members have not registered. Are you not doing any service to your owners?
We are going to carry out a review, because what I have seen here is that actually new members are even more than the old ones who are in the register. So to me, this is empirical evidence, and this is Kampala, and it is, we have gotten a few returns from the districts where they are asking for extra books. If there are any areas where the turn-up has not been good, those are some of the things we are going to look at.
This was at a meeting convened by NRM members under the FENA Development Association in Naweru Sub-County. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
UPC Party President Jimmy Akena has called for peace during the forthcoming Dokolo by-election. On 21st of this month, the people of Dokolo will be deciding who becomes their next woman MP to replace the late Cecilia Ogwao.
With only days left for the Dokolo district by-election, candidates and parties are bracing for the by-election. Voters gather in small groupings waiting to listen to candidates and decide on the best message. In about 30 to 40 minutes per venue, candidates quickly deliver their manifestos. UPC's party candidate Sarah Guti, flanked by our party president Jim Akena, campaigned in several venues in Agwata and Adok sub-counties. She pledged to better the livelihoods of the elderly, advocate for electricity stability in the district, and create employment for the youth.
So allow me to tell her I'm not quarreling with anyone. I am crying for the people of Uganda. I'm crying for the people of Dokolo. The health services is the same question. The doctors are under problem. What is wrong with crying for the health services of Uganda? This is why I want to start this.
UPC party president Jim Akena marketed his party and his presidential aspiration.
I will campaign for UPC because I believe in the vision of UPC, and I will work hard to see that vision is manifested in Uganda. I am not going to reduce myself to crying with somebody's name. If I am to cry, I'll cry to my God. I will cry for the people of Uganda.
He appealed to the political actors and security to ensure a peaceful process of the by-election.
And I'm going to be here until this election is concluded. I warn those who want to rig the election if we're not going to accept.
Sarah Gutinyankori is among the 7 candidates who were nominated to fill the void left by Cecilia Gwala on the 21st of this month. Eddie Olua, UBC News.
The National Unity Platform President, Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, has spent the weekend in Dokolo drumming support for the NUP flag bearer, Harriet Ageno, in the Dokolo Woman MP by-election. Chagulanyi made several road drives within Dokolo, urging voters to support NUP candidate Harriet Ageno. Meanwhile, the NRM diehards in Dokolo by-election are also negotiating with 3 independent candidates to step down for the NRM candidates, since the 3 independents are all NRM leaning. Philip Aguta is in Dokolo and reports.
The NUP president Robert Chagulanyi and the deputy for Northern Uganda Lina Zedgar arrived in Dokolo town at about midday. They headed to the NUP offices in Dokolo to sign the book and address the rally in Dokolo town, urging residents to vote for NUP candidate Harriet Ageno.
That I have this opportunity today. I want to tell you that this is not just a parliamentary campaign, but campaigning for Ageno Harriet. This is a revolution. I just want to open your eyes, young people of Dokolo and Northern Uganda.
Meanwhile, the NRM candidate was in Agwata and Adoko sub-counties traversing for votes with the message of development. The NRM diehards in Dokolo are negotiating with the 3 independent candidates to step down for the NRM candidate, since the 3 dependents are all NRM leaning. The Ugandan ambassador to South Africa, Paul Amoru, confirmed the negotiations.
I have decided to champion reconciliation and the unity of our people. And indeed, I can confirm that we have almost, I can say we are at 80%.
Ambassador adds that he has left South Africa for Dokolo to consolidate support for the NRM candidate Janet Adongo Elau.
To receive from us for decades in this by-election. I also want to appeal to our people that we must stay steady and give our whole support to Honorable Janet Adongo Elau, so that she can continue to implement the many other projects, including the flagship programs under the parish development model, Emioga.
Last day for the campaigns is on Tuesday next week, and President Museveni will be drumming support for the NRM candidate. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Dokolo.
The Presidential Advisor on Public Relations, Mary Karoro Okrut, has lectured Berangi Girls Secondary School. This was on the occasion of the Thanksgiving for Great Performances in the 2023 Uganda Certificate of Education and Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education. The church service was held at the school's new St. Paul's Chapel and presided over by the Western Kole Bishop, Right Reverend Johnson Twinomujuni.
in the construction of this magnificent chapel.
Continually be the first. Congratulations upon that. We're young girls. Madam Headmistress, I salute you.
The Bishop of Busoga Diocese, Paul Samson Naimanye, wants the teaching fraternity students and parents to uplift the region's education standards. He was at a Thanksgiving ceremony preaching on the mindset change at Pilkington College, Muguluka in Jinja District.
The Bishop of Busoga Diocese, Paul Naimanye, said Busoga Region's education standards is still wanting much as few schools performed well. The Bishop compared notes on outstanding schools across the country in Kampala and Wakiso, which have consistently performed well for years.
In Busoga, we need what we are calling changing the mind. If schools in Kampala, if schools in Wakiso, Mukono, Mpigi, schools are performing well. Equally, if we have what we call change of mind, also our schools can perform well. The teachers who are in Mukono went through either Makerere or any other university. The teachers we have. These teachers are well equipped. They need motivation. Abazaidi, to choose also, and even students who are here, they talk about Mukono, they talk about Wakiso, they talk about Kampala, and you develop what we call influenza complex. And you think it's only students in Mukono who can pass well. I want to tell you, students of Muguluka, also you can pass well if you change your mind.
He told the teaching fraternity, parents and students to have positive mindset for academic excellence.
When your mindset change, it means you are changing your attitude, you are changing your actions, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised that you are creating positive influence around you to best support your beliefs and thoughts.
Various speakers extended guidance to the community and students to uplift education standards and consistency.
Uganda has more than 1,000 USCE centers, UNEP centers, more than 1,000. Ayo kuba nga twafuna ekifo ky'ekikuminensaavun'omukaaga kikulu.
Mwe yatokota. Mutu supportinge munaabula kye mutubanda. N'abasomesa bano munaabula kye mubabanda kubanga buli kintu kinaaba kyeyogerera nga bwe mukoba.
If we want Uganda to get up, we must support this lower secondary curriculum. We must do a mindset change, sensitization, to cover abantu ekizenti kino ekintu kituyamba.
Meanwhile, the Father James Musan of Iganga Catholic Diocese urged Christians to ensure meaningful life in society. Reverend Father Musana was presiding over the St. Joseph's Day ceremony and Thanksgiving service at Jinja College.
And also St. Joseph taught our Lord Jesus Christ those common virtues mentoring Jesus Christ, for example, the virtue of patience.
St. Joseph's Day is an annual function meant to educate the students and staff of Jinja College on how to become wholesome person.
Following the ongoing registration exercise and the update of the NRM register, locals have been reminded to support the fulfillment of the NRM manifesto. In Gomba West, NRM leaders together with the area member of Parliament, Robina Rwakojo, set up various stations in a number of locations to facilitate the registration and updating of the NRM register. Details in this report.
This year's registration and update for NRM register has shown indicating a high turnout to be registered in Gomba. She also noticed some irregularities where NERA officials were asking money from the people who wanted to obtain their cards.
However, what pains me is that some people don't have their national IDs because they are still at the office, at the NERA office. Some people didn't manage to get them. They were supposed to get them and they didn't. Other people lost them. And so it's been a problem. You find people are known members of the village, and because they don't have their national IDs, it's becoming a problem. And
she cautioned those interested in registering with parties and participating in elections that it's legal process.
If you belong to another party, you cannot register both with the other party and with NRM. If you decide to leave your party and to come to NRM, then you've called it quits, the other side. But for us, we welcome new members. Please come and join us. I think ours is the best party. I would like to request you to support NRM as a party because there's so much that our leader has done. He has given us free education, primary and secondary. The health centers have been worked upon, the roads, there's so much that I can say.
The NRM registrar for Bugura sub-county cautioned those interested with registering their people about transparency in handling the provided funds.
I credit my village members who have tried to come and support our NRM with registration and updating their names in the register.
Nevertheless, the registration exercise in PG district had challenges with the registration books.
Babadde basuubira kutongerayo ku kadde tutandise si bubi tuli bulungi era register yaffe teri bubi tugenda maaso yaweddewo n'endala batongera.
The LOC1 chairman for Kataba village, Katende Moses, told UBC that they are struggling to accommodate new members and provide for the youth.
Ngenzo okulanga abantu balinga 10 abali eyo abatasobodde kutuuka naye nga baagala nnyo okuyingira mu kitabo kyaffe.
Era neneebaza nnyo bakoordinator abagureta mpigi okuva mu ofiisi ya national chairman ya ONC abasobodde okubeera nga ffenna tutambulira wamu.
Pastor Frida Serwadda of Victory Christian Center Church in Ndeba has advised the public not to despise themselves as they use prayers to ask God to enable them meet the right people.
We bless you, God, because you're good. I bless you for the grace that is in this place.
Caring Heart Breakthrough Victory Church at Kagula Hill in Kakiri Wakiso District has hosted Pastor Frida Serwadda of Victory Christian Church in Ndeba. Pastor Frida Serwadda led the praise and worship with her sermon dwelling on preaching of confidence.
Today told me trust in God because He's a good God, He's a great God, He's a healer, and I know He can do all things. He can do things in your life, things which will amaze people. You know, there's certain things which happen to us and I think that is the end of me. But I'm here to encourage you that the God we serve is a mighty God. He's a God of wonders. He's a God who does, the Bible says, exceedingly above all that we think.
Caring Heart Victory Community Church lead Pastor Paul Musisi advises members to renew their faith. The Caring Heart Victory Community Church at Kagula Hill in Kakiri Wakiso District engages in prayer sessions that are graced by inspirational messages from visiting pastors.
I want to tell you one more.
talimba
Our God doesn't lie.
bw'abanga alina kye
If
yasuubiza
he ever promised something,
agenda
he's
kituukiriza.
gonna.
Luwero residents have urged the Ministry of Education and Sports to provide facilities to support village schools so that they compete with private schools in education. Katikamu South MP Dennis Sekabira and NRM party member Sisi Mulondo made this call at Luwero Valley Secondary School during celebrations for excelling in the 2023 exams.
2023 UNEBU results showed that Luwero district didn't perform well, and observers attribute this to government's failure to monitor schools and provide facilities to schools in rural areas. Nakaseke district chairman in the neighborhood forced teachers to sit the P7 exams to check their capability, although education experts didn't concur with him. At the Thanksgiving service at Luwero Valley Secondary School for the 2023 exam results, he reminded parents the value of education.
Mungeri y'enjawulo Katonda atusobozesezza abayizi baffe aba A-level okuyita obulungi ddala. Abaana baffe ebitundu 3 bafunye principal passes 3. Tetukiwulirangako mu byafaayo.
Twebaza abazadde, twebaza abayizi, twebaliza ddala abakulembeze baffe. Board of Directors, Board of Trustees.
Former NRM candidate who also voted for Luwero woman member of parliament Sisi Mulondo asked government to help schools by building teachers' houses and quarters.
Somero no nalironda okuweererawo abaana bange abawala girl child aba Sisi Mulondo Foundation kuweerera wano abawala 250 kugoberera amasomero ga gavumenti. Ngenda nga tubuka musinaga malayo gonna naye nga tutuula wansi ne tulaba ekizibu ki ekisinga obuzibu mu masomero ga gavumenti ebikozesebwa abasomesa abatono ebibiina 7 n'abasomesa 7 genda okukakana nga tebafunye bisaanyi sijja biyita bisaanyizo naye nga bwe baagala olusuku ali omu asomesa okuva ku P1 paka ku P7 ekyo no kizza emabega ebyenjigiriza nsaba nkubira gavumenti omulamba naddala amasoso g'ebyalo egasoosowaza ennyo ng'egongera ku basomesa abatendeke.
Ministry of Education and Sports need to empower schools to implement the new curriculum.
Buno obudde tuyinza okutunulako ne tukwagala kubanga omubiri gwe gukyali mugimu. Naye ate gugenda kukuyamba nnyo mu maaso nga gugimuse bulungi naye nga ne mu mutwe olina ky'oyongeddemu. Kubanga ebiseera ebisinga omwana w'obulenzi bw'amala okufuna mu buno obudde bw'alinnya eddaala agenda okubalabalamu ng'alaba tokyajja bulungi ng'anoonya oyo yayongerako ekyo eky'omu mutwe. N'olwekyo obudde buno bwonna bwe muli mu ssomero mubumale nga mwekolako omulimu okufaanana abalungi mu maaso ekisobole okubayamba.
Amwa Njuko and Patrick Mugera for UBC.
Religious leaders in the rural areas of Teso sub-region have raised their voices decrying the harsh working conditions that hinder their efforts to inspire faith among Christians. These devoted leaders grapple with the challenges, striving to convey their messages amidst adversity. The delicate balance between conviction and practical realities remains a pressing concern as they labor to ignite belief in their congregations.
According to Bishop Jorem Ochom, the coordinator of pastors in Serere district, it has become difficult for the devoted leaders to inspire faith among Christians due to harsh working conditions.
These pastors ride bicycles 5 kilometers away from their homes, some of them even foot 3 kilometers. So the life here, and when you look at the giving in the church, maybe the whole church can give like 3,000 shillings, which is quite different from town. But I've also discovered that the pastors who are in the village, they are pastors who are actually stand by the word and by the faith of God.
Despite government poverty alleviation projects in the district, Ochom claims that most religious leaders have been sidelined.
Some of these government programs have not actually passed through the church. They have passed through other people, and you find pastors have not benefited directly. We are setting an idea to hit the church because we have seen the youth are getting damaged, the youth are getting wasted. So we have now focused how do we raise up the pastors to sustain themselves instead of this.
Their outcry attracted area members of parliament who advocated for the empowerment of religious leaders in the district.
They're able to empower themselves and do projects like piggery, like animal keeping, to support themselves. When I talked about pastors or bishops or priests going back to the Adiga for help, yet the Adiga, the sheep, is supposed to come to them for help. So that's what we are talking about, empowering our leaders so that self-reliable and also self-sufficient.
They assert that a leader must lead by example in fighting poverty.
When you're a bishop, when you're a pastor, when you're a man of God, when you're a woman of God, what can villagers learn from you? Do you have a farm? Just even chicken, just even goats, even turkeys. What do you have? What can those villagers say? We learned from pastor so and so. We saw bishop so and so. We saw reverend. What example are you giving to non-born agains? Because you have to preach with the word but also in action. What are you giving? Are you the pastor who just goes to get offertory?
Joseph Okowu, UBC.
In the recently concluded seminar at the Freedom Worship Center in Nyanama, Kampala, Pastor Chiza, Frank and Sarah Mutesi from Revelation Church in Kigali, Rwanda, were unhappy about the increasing cases of torture of the girl child in churches. They have urged Ugandans to be wary of the false prophets that do linger amidst most churches in Uganda.
At the Freedom Worship Center in Nyanama, Kampala, there was concern over misconduct of women and men, which has led to distortion and deviation from the teachings of God.
Era Paulo akutira Timotheo n'amugamba mwanange fuba nnyo okulaba ng'oli kyakulabirako ekirungi mu ntambulayo, mu njogerayo, mu neeyisaazo, mu butuukirivu bwo ne mu mazima go.
Pastor Frank Kiza emphasized the need for addressing the issues raised during the gathering, aiming to restore the essence of the gospel.
Ekigendererwa ky'olukungaano luno ffe kubadde kuzza bujja era omubiri gwa Kristo. Ffenna abakyala, abaami, abavubuka okwambala amaanyi okuddamu okubunyisa enjiri eya Mukama waffe Yesu Kristo mu Uganda era n'okwetooloola ensi yonna.
The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Dr. Moses Maka Ndimuchika, has urged students to be creative in order to be useful in the country. This follows his speech at the World Global Youth Day celebrations at Bugema Adventist Secondary School in Wakiso District.
The event opened with a band team around Bugema Adventist's Secondary School community. The Archbishop of Adventist Church, Dr. Moses Maka Ndimuchika, urged the students to be more creative, which will make them useful in the country. He also called upon Ugandans to watch all steps of life.
What that knowledge can result into, but you find an educated medical practitioner getting onto the shop and buying some cigarettes. The cigarette pack is written on that cigarette smoking is injurious to your life, and he goes ahead and picks a cigar from there. He knows the pathology, he knows everything, but he goes ahead to light up that cigarette, to start smoking it into his life. Yet he knows that it has been written and the warning is there, but because he has only knowledge and he's been to school without having wisdom, he is an educated fool.
Head teacher, Bugema Adventist Secondary School, Bokenya Stephen, stressed educating children in life skills.
kiba kyabulabe nnyo okufulumya omuntu nga bw'akyogeddeko tuli bw'ayogera bw'atuukuga nti yavunaanyizibwa ku musawo naye ate anywa sigala aba teyayigirizibwa tamanyi bintu bya buntu.
Ekiseera kino kizibu nga ekkanisa erina ebyetaagisa okukolako bingi okulowooza ku ssomero lyamugiro okulikyalira.
Benon Mukwaya, Jamil Sekaja, UBC News.
Various Muslim women attended the annual Muslima Iftar dinner and the fundraising ceremony for the construction of 2 classrooms of Weli Travel-sponsored Habiba Orphanage Center. First, women were inducted how to behave in the month of Ramadan and parenting, and how to also take care of their children, taking their religion forward. The ceremony was held at Golden Tulip here in Kampala.
During the holy month of Ramadan, Muslim women participated in the annual Muslima Iftar dinner in discussing how to take their religion forward and charity work. The women were trained how to behave and children upbringing.
Time of technology, freedom, human rights. How can you be a good Muslim? Human rights, human rights is just new. Human rights era Western school of thought human rights. Nenga wotululia Umar radiyallahu anhu. Obusilamu bwonna human rights.
Cultures and the emerging identities as a Muslimah, between her hijab, between indulging and working with the opposite sex, and how can she nurture and also parent the future generation. So it's between parenting, between teaching the world how a woman can contribute to the community, to the world. In this era where we are now, emerging identities, new identities which are coming, technology, globalization, social media, how can women navigate? First, she has to know her, her culture, and her background is Islam.
The focus should be on women in sustaining the family and raising up of children.
But we want to believe that women have an upper hand to nurturing society. So if at all women are guided, women are kept into awareness, women are well equipped with good skills, interpersonal skills here and there, definitely they are going to be better parents, and in the long run, they are going to influence the society.
The national chairperson of Muslim women, Sophia Safina Kenyanji, condemned women for gossip, which has resulted in marriage breakages.
Basically to spoil your mood of the day, spoil your marriage, spoil your business, to spoil whatever you have. How do we treat ourselves? It affects the 3 chain.
Later, various Muslims raised funds to construct and repair the Habiba Orphanage Center. Shamira Namutebi explained the purpose of holding the annual Muslima Iftar dinner.
Always such events, we attach them to a charity cause. So the charity cause for this year is about the construction, the completion, and also the renovation of 2 classrooms at Habiba Orphanage Center.
Jamil Sekaja, Benon Mukwaya, UBC News.
The visiting African president of the Pathfinder, Lydia Salo Chu, has launched a book which highlights the success, challenges and ways forward for the Pathfinder programs in Uganda and the rest of the developing countries implementing the program. The book, titled Who Runs the World? Unlocking the Talent and Inventiveness of the Woman Everywhere, was authored by Lois Kwam, the Chief Executive of Pathfinder in the World at Serena Chigo.
For centuries, remarkable people have understood the full humanity of women in the face of the society norms and practices that have held women aback. Remarkable women and men have spoken up and invested to ensure everybody has access to the modern reproductive health care system. The visiting African president of Pathfinder, Lydia Soluku, has launched a book highlighting the successes, challenges and way forward. It is authored by the Chief Executive for Pathfinder, Lois Kwam.
All of us here understand when I'm talking on the power of woman.
because you have exam in front of you.
You know, I got the idea for the book in some ways from my own life. I'm a Nalongo, and I talk about that in the book. The book's inspiration also comes from the work that we do at Pathfinder here in Uganda and around Africa. Today, our African leaders have been meeting in Uganda to look at the ways that we can help women and girls across Uganda fulfill their full potential for all of us. The other thing that led me to do the book was we recognize there are so many challenges in the world today.
Pathfinder is on the right path and they will support the woman and the girl child.
Pathfinder is on the right path. The work that we have done our whole time is to support women and girls and their families so that women and girls can reach their full potential in life, and with that, help us all live better lives.
The Pathfinder president in Uganda, Dr. Rita Wadimba, says the agenda is to improve the awareness of the woman and reach out to the mother.
Our work has been mostly around sexual reproductive health and rights. We have provided an opportunity for women and girls to access services that they would otherwise not be able to access. We have helped a young girl to prevent a pregnancy, and that way she's able to continue with her education, she's able to compete in the work environment and get money to cater for her family, to contribute to the needs of her community, and then contribute to the economic development of our country.
This book presents the voices of Pathfinder leaders from Africa, South Asia, and the Middle East, showcasing efforts to support and advance women, confront climate change, the fragile health systems, and inequalities. Ivan Juko, Mike Bakabulindi for UBC.
Protocol in the room is French.
A total of 216 candidates at Uganda Matters Seminary in Namugongo have been phased out with a call on them to embrace Christian values and networking to serve the church. This was during the graduation ceremony where the graduates were awarded with diplomas and certificates in theology, among other disciplines. We have a detailed report.
Uganda Matters Seminary, Namugongo in Wakiso district, is one of the oldest that has trained many prominent men and women of God, including His Grace Dr. Samuel Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, the Archbishop, Church of Uganda, and Bishop Wilberforce Chitoluwalira, formerly of Namirembe Diocese, among other clergies. Now, a total of 216 candidates graduated with diplomas and certificates in theology, business administration, project planning, Christian ministry, counseling and guidance, among other courses. The Principal Reverend Esau Bosa challenged the graduates to embrace Christian values and networking to serve the church for a positive change. Reverend Bosa said the seminary is growing despite several challenges and hailed the donor community for supporting the seminary, which is soon to be upgraded to university status. The Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, Right Reverend Moses Banja, who presided over the ceremony, rewarded some of the long-serving lecturers with various accolades.
Congratulations to all of you who have gone through your struggles in academics, and now you can celebrate. So receive greetings and congratulations from the Archbishop, who is also an OB of this seminary. So accept his love.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock on my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
The government of Uganda and the Uganda Bureau of Statistics is calling upon all stakeholders such as the chief administrative officers, city mayors, resident city commissioners, city clerks, city and division councillors, wards and LC chairpersons, as well as the residents and business communities to cooperate with the UBOS field teams as we embark on advanced preparations to conduct the National Population and Housing Census on the 10th of May 2024. The census will be a 10-day exercise to obtain statistical data and information that will be used for planning and policy formulation, including information on 1. How many we are, 2. Where we are, 3. How we are living, 4. What we own, and 5. Where we access services from. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics has now started listing of households and mapping in the 11 cities of Arua, Fort Portal, Gulu, Hoima, Jinja, Lira, Mbale, Masaka, Mbarara, Soroti, and in the Greater Kampala comprising of Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono districts. For more information, please call 0755 342 128 or 0773 342 128. This message is brought to you by the Executive Director and Census Commissioner, Uganda Bureau of Statistics. Census 2024. It matters to be counted.
Attention everyone, the Ministry of Health has planned to vaccinate all persons aged 1 year to 60 years old to protect them against yellow fever disease. The mass vaccination will take place in 53 districts in these regions: Kampala, Buganda, Teso, Ankole and Karamoja. Vaccination is free and available at all government health facilities and outreach posts in these regions. The vaccination campaign will take place from April 2nd to April 8th, 2024. The vaccine is safe, effective and free of charge and has been approved by World Health Organization and Ministry of Health. This message is from Ministry of Health with support from Gavi.
The 7th Uganda Water and Environment Week will take place from the 18th to the 22nd of March 2024 under the theme Rethinking Collective Action and Innovative Solutions to Water, Environment and Climate Change Crisis in Uganda at the Ministry of Water and Environment Headquarters in Luzira, Kampala. As part of the week, key sector international days, that is the World Water Day, International Forestry Day and the World Meteorological Day are commemorated. Various events such as panel discussions, site events, paper presentations and exhibitions will be organized for the sustainable ecosystem and the development of Uganda by different stakeholders on water and environment issues. Uganda Water and Environment Week 2024 is organized by the Ministry of Water and Environment through the Water Resources Institute with support from development partners. The week will be opened by the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honourable Thomas Tayewa. For more information, visit our website at www.mwe.go.ug.
Ebiseera by'okusaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanyi kuzunga na banka siripsi? Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. The number of students seeking to study in higher institutions of learning abroad is growing steadily. The director, Ami Kale, one of the international education consultants, Masi Mumo, points out that her organization handles between 150 to 200 students every day, or annually rather, depending on the performance at A level. Details in the story.
These students are seeking guidance to study abroad after completing A-level. Brownstone Canadian Academy Kampala collaborates with Amical, one of the international education consultants, to help students study abroad.
I wanted to find out more about the scholarships and what scholarships I can get and what scholarships can be offered to me. And that's why I came to seek guidance on how to apply and how to apply for the Canadian visa, because that is a requirement.
My dream is that I finish senior 6 over here, move to Canada to finish my bachelor's and major in banking and finance.
So what we do is we assist the students to get the admissions to the top universities in Canada, as there are many universities, but each universities have different programs. So we capitalize on knowing what is the strength of the students and how they are well suited, for the programs and the universities of their choice. Then we guide them to meet their entry requirements, and we assist them with the visa applications and the visa requirements and to meet the migrations.
Students who have not performed well at A-level can undertake the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, which is a pre-university qualification.
Because I joined the course because I wanted to have a platform to reach to my country, to Canada. That's why I'm doing that course as a diploma course.
So the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, after studying from Bronson Academy, you get higher chances of getting a scholarship rather than when you've studied Cambridge or you've studied the local UNEB curriculum. This is because it's a Canadian system, so you're considered as a local, not as an international student. So they have scholarships for the international students, they have scholarships for the local students. So since you've studied from Bronson Academy, it's a Canadian system, you have higher chances of getting higher amounts of scholarship. For example, you can get up to 90%, 100% scholarships, whereas an international student cannot get that percentage. They'll be limited, but you as an Ontario Secondary School Diploma, you'll be able to obtain the amount of scholarship that your grades.
Brownston Canadian Academy Kampala offers the Canadian curriculum that is recognized worldwide.
The Nakawa East Member of Parliament Ronald Nsubuga Balimwezo, together with Majezi John Paul, who is in charge of environment at the Prime Minister's office, while representing the Minister in charge of relief, disaster preparedness and refugees, commended the environmental conservation efforts spearheaded by the Uganda Junior Rangers for protecting Lake Victoria. The leaders hailed the Luzira Bay cleaning up and improving environmental conservation efforts and urged locals against dumping trash in the lake.
Pollution and excess waste have become a threat to Lake Victoria. There is a risk of drowning due to the increased garbage in the waters, making it difficult for fishermen to navigate. This initiative is also part of an effort to provide Ugandans with clean water sources and improve environmental conservation. Nakawa East Member of Parliament Ronald Balimwezo Nsubuga emphasized keep the lake clean and campaigned against littering and polluting. Magezi John Paul, represented Minister Hilary Onek, urged people to ensure environmental conservation efforts as they should be continuous.
So need to ensure legal institutions and enforcement agencies to stop this illegal activity.
Joshua Sechiwunga, chairman of the youth in Luzira and a leader of Uganda Junior Rangers, stressed the importance of the environmental conservation campaign.
Our major role is to see that we clean our lake and our environment at large. Why we do this, we have discovered that since for us we use this water in the lake, but this lake of ours is very dirty. And the campaign is called to Bafeko and Neighbor, and we are targeting 1 million Ugandans to see that they have access to clean water and clean energy.
Shell Uganda donated gas cylinders to Luzira dwellers to provide communities with tools that sustain and conserve the environment.
The Conservation Program Manager of Worldwide Fund for Nature, WWF, Simon Peter Weredwong, has revealed that the purpose of planting bamboo trees along River Rizi is to stabilize the ecosystems. This was said during the two-day monitoring and inspection of replanting of trees exercise and services being invested to restore the degraded ecosystems along River Rizi.
Conservation Program Manager of Worldwide Fund for Nature, WWF, Simon Peter Wereduang, explained that water bodies need care to ensure sustainability to avoid destruction.
For plant. Now, as WWF, we have a mission which says that we are stopping or reducing the degradation of the Earth's environment and building an environment where humans live in harmony with nature.
They are not as devastating. When dry season comes, the river is actually able to stay and the water keeps flowing. We go along the river banks and in that way protecting the river. We want to thank ABMBEV on our breweries for this partnership and for joining the struggle in saving the Rizi.
Reverend Christopher Masiko of Kachigani Parish Church expressed concern of protecting the environment and sensitizing the populace.
And even we church leaders, we have benefited because we get milk and sell the surplus and get income. We even get cow dung, which we use as fertilizer in our banana and coffee plantations. We want to thank this group that is connected with NEMA for protecting the environment and glorifying God's name, because we have
And that brings us to the end of our 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. Thank you for being a lovely audience. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold. Have yourselves a lovely week.
Sunny conditions dominating most parts of the country, and we've seen a similar picture. This is due to the low over the Indian Ocean that is depriving us of all the moist winds that should have come into our country, hence bringing us the sunny conditions that we are having lately. Tomorrow morning we expect to wake up to a bright sunny day in the central part of Uganda, and going into the eastern, so the same situation will continue up to the northern sector of our country. We are waking up to a bright sunny day. Moving into the afternoon hours, we are seeing a temperature being a little bit high, up to a maximum of 33 degrees Celsius across Nakasongola, 32 Mubende, Akatipisto Kampala with 31. It's pretty hot lately. Moving to the eastern side, the temperatures are far higher than the central of 34 degrees Celsius across Oti, 33 in Jinja and Tororo. Moving to the western stretch, we are still having temperatures going far high to the maximum of 33 degrees Celsius across Masindi, 34, Kasese, Barara with the 32, and Kabala Highlands with a lowest of 27 degrees Celsius. It's really hot lately. Moving to another sector, we are having a domination of sunny conditions at a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius. Is moving out of Uganda to run a few cities across the globe, forecasting sunny intervals across parts of Nairobi, Dubai, and parts of Cairo at a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius in Cairo. London with cloudy conditions at a maximum of 16 degrees Celsius only. Thanks for tuning on UBC. I remain Kutesa Mili. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.